These
and a flip to McCoy from Kelsey. That was sick.
Are some of the smartest plays in NFL history.
Here's a fake spike. Brown, touchdown.
So let's start with one of the smartest trick plays ever.
Using plays like that selectively. Oh boy. Bryant's going to throw and Witten's wide open. With a great design. Outstanding.
Not only was the defense not expecting Dez Bryant to throw a pass, but since he's left-handed, he was able to hide the fact that he was going to throw. But this next high IQ play won this team their first ever Super Bowl.
They're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
This play call has a chance to be remembered as one of the all-time greats.
It was not only a gutsy play, but snapping the ball to the running back while Nick Foles was pretending to audible was absolutely genius. But this player used his quick thinking to turn what everyone thought was an incomplete pass into a touchdown.
There he was hit from behind as he waited in the pocket. They're saying this play is live. They're waiting for somebody to do something. That's Boykin. He's going to go in for a touchdown. That is strange. The Packers have taken the lead in the NFC North Division Championship game.
While every player stood around thinking the play was dead, Jarrett Boykin realized that a whistle was never blown, so he scooped the ball up and scored a touchdown. But this next brilliant play actually came from an NFL coach.
Sweezum's kickoff. Fielded at the goal line by Jones. Jacoby Jones gets by Sweezum.
Well, here we go. Here's Tomlin over here. Obviously, Jacoby Jones there. And Tomlin is essentially on the field here. Forced Jacoby Jones back into the field. A little mission accomplished.
It's pretty convenient that Mike Tomlin didn't realize that he was standing right in Jacoby Jones's path and prevented a touchdown from happening. This next smart play ended up winning the game for this team, but it never should have happened in the first place. In 2015, the Seahawks were trying to prevent the Lions from scoring a go-ahead touchdown with less than 2 minutes left. After Matthew Stafford hit Calvin Johnson, it looked like he was going to score a TD until this happened.
And they're going to throw. Stafford complete. Calvin Johnson to the end zone, fumbles it, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a touchback, and it's ruled a touchback.
After an incredible play to strip the ball out of Johnson's hands, Seattle linebacker KJ Wright hit the ball out of the back of the end zone, resulting in a touchback and giving the Seahawks the ball. And while this was viewed as a heads-up play, it was actually an illegal one.
KJ Wright batted the football. That is a foul for an illegal bat.
So that the ball would be back at the 1 yard line then?
Yeah, it would go back to the spot of the fumble. You'd enforce the foul half the distance from that spot. It's not reviewable in replay. That is specific in the replay rule. You can't rule on an illegal bat in replay because, again, it is a judgment call. It's an intentional act.
So let's stick to smart plays that are actually allowed, like this insane punt return the Raiders pulled off.
He drives it deep over the head of Harris. Let's see if they can pin it inside the 10. And then Harris says, I will gladly take it and go. What a smart move by Harris as he gets free. How about it, Raider Nation?
Even the announcer knew that waiting until the last minute to pick up the punt was the best thing Dwayne Harris could have done on that play. But this next smart play was one of the gutsiest calls ever, and it helped lead the Saints to their first ever championship.
Every time he comes off the field. Onside kick to start the second half. What a fearless start to the second half. And it looks like the Saints had it for a second. Saints football. They recover the onside kick.
An onside kick to begin the second half of the Super Bowl, and they recovered it? Yeah, give Sean Payton props for that one. But this next 1000 IQ play came when everyone in the stadium thought they knew the play the Eagles were about to run until they did this.
Or make it look like that and then run a trick play off it. Kenneth Gainwell, the high school quarterback, whips it downfield to Devontae Smith.
Yeah, instead of doing their famous brotherly shove for a first down, they pitched it to the running back who threw a perfect pass to move the chains. But this next smart play happened when a quarterback decided to be a receiver on the same play?
2nd and 5. Ball batted up into the air and caught by Jackson. He caught his own pass.
I mean, hey, I don't blame him for wanting to catch and run after he saw how many yards he could get. But this next play was so brilliant, everyone who took part in it deserves to win an Oscar for their acting performance.
Healey for their offense. Wide open throw down the field. It's Manziel. Penalty markers are flying down. See, he's at the top of the screen right here. He's going to go down and watch when they snap it. Shanahan say, okay, take off.
Pretending to be on the sidelines, talking to your coach, running a route, and catching a pass? Man, what are they going to come up with next? But was that smarter than when this player came up with the perfect way to block a field goal?
Patriots one on late. They got a piece of it. It was blocked off the edge by Brendan Schooler, and Duggar recovers on the other side of midfield.
That play was so brilliant, it almost makes you wonder how nobody else was able to do that before. However, this next high IQ move looked really stupid, but afterwards, it turned out to be genius.
A bunch of Ravens are coming after him.
Well, that's not something you see very often. Chuck Clark, the defensive player, was set up behind the quarterback. That is not legal, Dan.
Even though Chuck Clark looked goofy lining up like that, the Ravens defense wasn't ready. So that penalty prevented a play from happening, and the ball was only moved up a few feet. Truly a chess not checkers moment. This next brainy play was I can't tell if that play was more tricky or sharp, but was that play smarter than when Tom Brady used his quick thinking to take advantage of a loophole in the rules?
There's 3rd and 10. Brady has to step up. And a flag flies in.
Instead of letting the pass fall incomplete and going to 4th down, Brady caught his own pass and threw it again. And even though it was a penalty, it resulted in them replaying 3rd down. And once the league realized what the GOAT did, they changed the rule to add a loss of down on an illegal forward pass penalty. Thanks, Tom. But was that play craftier than one of the best safeties in NFL history used his veteran knowledge to make this touchdown happen?
St. Pierre intercepted. It's picked off by Reed. Well, the one guy you don't want to gamble against is Ed Reed. Trying to get by Gross over the pylon. Touchdown!
Knowing he wasn't going to score, Ed Reed flipped it to his teammate, who was able to turn the interception into a pick six. But what if I were to tell you that the smartest game-winning touchdown ever actually happened because a player refused to score? Just watch.
Give the Packers a lot of credit for the way they performed.
3rd down, and this will be...
Well, it could have been another touchdown, and him just being smart and realizing that at this point, the game is
Instead of taking the TD, Gurley decides to be selfless, getting the 1st down and going down before the goal line, so that way, the Packers had zero opportunity to get the ball back. This next 1000 IQ play came when a quarterback and his wide receiver were both on the same wavelength and pulled off one of the best plays from the season.
5% of the targets to Shakir completed. This is behind Cooper, who brought it in, pitched it back to Allen, who's going to go to the goal line.
Oh my goodness.
If Josh Allen ends up winning the MVP, I think we can all look back at this play as to what secured the award for him. But our next intelligent play combined awareness with athleticism to produce this insane moment.
Ryan looking for Jason Snelling, but Sam Acho Man knocks it out.
That's a wonderful.
Having the know-it-all to try and keep the ball in bounds and actually making the play happen is both brain and brawn. We've even seen super smart plays be made with the Super Bowl on the line in the final seconds of the game. While it didn't look flashy, the Ravens punter taking the safety there wasted 8 seconds of valuable time for the 49ers and also prevented the possibility of a blocked punt or a return touchdown. A pretty brilliant idea on the NFL's largest stage. But one of the smartest plays in NFL history helped pull off a miracle win for this team in the playoffs. In 2000, the Titans and the Bills were dead even in a hard-fought game. With less than 30 seconds left, Buffalo was able to kick a field goal, giving them just a 1-point lead. So with 0 timeouts and just 16 seconds left in the game, the Tennessee Titans needed to pull off a miracle, or else their season would be over. And on the kickoff, they used the right play at the exact right time to pull off one of the most unbelievable plays in NFL history.
And a possibility for a play. Dyson and Bird are deep. Taken by Neal. That's a forward pass. It's going to be hard to tell. Taken by Dyson. Dyson down the sideline. Dyson's going to go all the way. That angle. Hey, that looks like it's a lateral.
They're reviewing the play. The ruling on the field stands. It was a lateral.